I've heard
Here we go.
Somebody out there told me, or tells me once every 4 weeks at least,
Right.
that there is a place online.
Okay.
Where
There's lots of places online.
This place, you can buy pretty much anything.
Okay. Superdrug.
No, not quite. You can even subscribe to groceries on there.
Yeah, Superdrug.
And they'll send them to you monthly, as and when required, at 20% discount to what you normally pay. Or some sort of...
Are you sure you mean groceries when you say that?
Yeah. I'm talking feminine
eggs
hygiene.
and stuff. That's not groceries. Groceries is food.
Groceries?
Groceries is food.
You go to the grocery store to get feminine hygiene products.
Yeah, they just happen to sell them as well. Quite frankly, if you wanted feminine hygiene products, you'd go to Superdrug. Which brings me back to my original point.
You can get all sorts of beans and toothpaste and all sorts on there.
A greengrocer sells food. We've seen a brown grocer when we were in Wisbeach the other week. That sells gone-off fruit and veg and stuff.
Well, neither of these are where
Is it the brown grocer in Wisbeach?
No, I'm talking about we're from the internet.com/Amazon.
Oh, it's a website off of the 90s, is it? With a / rather than just a slash.
You have to tell people what slash to
no,
use.
I don't.
Put backslash, they could end up going to the Amazon.
You used to have to tell people which are around to put their slashes 20 years ago. Everyone knows you just do the / now.
I reckon.
It's that you may as well have said www.
I almost did, but I knew you'd correct me. There'll be people out there who've been, every 4 weeks, they go, oh no, I do want some feminine hygiene products. And they type in
Superdrug.
No, they type in, they forget www. And then wonder if that's the issue. We're from the internet.com, and then they put /Amazon, and it just doesn't work. And they just think, oh, maybe Kev didn't pay the license fees again. Maybe Kev's shut the shop and he's at the brown grocers instead. Well, I'm here to tell you, no, you've been doing it wrong all this time. / is the one that, if you're using a Mac at least, it's underneath the question mark on your keyboard. I don't know where it is on a PC because there's not one in my iPhone.
I think it's still on the keyboard, don't worry.
Somewhere on there, on the right. But yeah, that's we're from the internet.com. The dot is the full stop. You don't have to look for a special dot button.
You don't type out DOT?
No.
Okay.
And then / which is a single icon.
Just
not
a slash.
And yeah, Amazon, AM.
And Amazon, so / and Amazon.
I forgot that's what Amazon is. AMAZON.
Okay.
If you do that, if you buy your stuff through there, then we usually get a nice little slice of the Amazon pie, and it doesn't cost you anything to do it. You're just spending, I don't know, what does feminine hygiene products cost nowadays?
I don't know, all I can think about now is Amazon pie.
40 quid. Let's say, I don't know, a packet of tampons, 40 quid. Amazon will charge you that normal amount, and then they'll give us a slice of it on the sly. On a sly? No, it's completely above board. And we'll thank them for it, and we'll thank you for it, and everything will be merry.
This is why I normally do it. Hello, I'm Kev.
And I'm Steve.
And we're from the internet. Why are you wearing a tie?
Because that's what I do. That's my thing. I'm wearing shirts and ties and trousers.
Your tie's too short. It's like a schoolboy's tie.
I knew you were going to say that. I pulled it, or someone pulled it. I think my kid pulled it. And it got shortened.
It's 9:15 at night. Some people have loosened it by now. Like their fat neck run free.
I'm comfortable.
No, you're not.
I am. I went shopping last week with my wife and kids. And the shop I was in had 2 for £20 on shirts, so I just piled them all.
What, you bought black shirts, like a monster? I got
a rainbow of colours, including black.
The only ones I've only ever seen you wear a black shirt.
No, I got a blue one, a red one, a pink one.
Did you get any white ones, like a human?
One, and a red and white one.
No, just plain white? Like a waiter? Like what I wear?
Not a waiter, am I, anymore? And I invested in some trousers and some new underwear that actually fits me. I've not had underwear that fits me in over a decade. I feel like king of the world.
Where do you buy such a large garment from?
Primark, actually. I went for the underwear just because I thought,
was it just a t-shirt upside down?
You're going to end up with holes in it. So
I'll get a t-shirt upside down because then the hole's already built in ready. No, it might not run. I can take it back afterwards and it'll be fine.
Just standing there waiting for my good lady to buy some pajamas and stuff.
What, and you just started buying pants?
I just saw.
I don't know what to do. Give me the pants. Pants quickly.
Thought, I'm having 9.
Did you go for the boxer brief that I suggested for you? The tight trunk. I like a trunk. Do you want to see what I'm wearing?
I'm alright, thanks. They are. I wear a trunk. Normal boxers. They have the support and the legs. And
I would say a normal boxer is loose fitting and checked. They always have to be checked.
Oh, these aren't loose. Are
they checked?
They're comfortable.
Show me your pants. Show me your pants.
They're all one
colour. I want to see. What colour are they? Are they black?
I don't even know today.
Black underwear?
Probably blue.
Show me.
I think they're blue.
I want to have a look.
I think they're blue. Is that blue?
He's dressed head to toe in black. His black shirt, black tie, black trousers, black shoes. What colour are your socks? White, I assume.
No, I think they're
black. Yeah, there we go.
I mean, morning.
Yeah, I mean, there is no colour on you anywhere.
There's a slight bit
it's
of
like you're a
silver on my
TV
tie.
show from the 50s. It's terrifying. It makes your face look redder than normal.
I've had a few beers, to be fair.
There we go. So you've turned up in a tie, drunk. It all seems fairly standard
I just thought
so
I need
far.
to start up in my game. I've got to stop looking like an office junior in my t-shirt and jeans, slumming around with my rough hair.
Are you now the only one in the office who wears a tie? You're that
I'm not
guy,
sure,
are
to
you?
be honest. I didn't realise until today that because there's a guy who comes in very sharp dressed every day. And,
Is that guy you?
I thought he wore a tie, but he wasn't wearing one today. So I think maybe I went too far, too soon.
I was that guy for a short amount of time at a job I used to have. It was when I was working in a call centre.
Yeah, I was that guy at the call centre.
It doesn't sit well with your colleagues. They end up beating. You end up getting cornered in the car park and getting beaten up. They were all right with you when you were the friendly scruff bag. Now you're the guy who wears a tie and thinks you're better than everyone else.
I think I'm better than
Look
everyone.
at me! I can afford extra fabric to dangle around my neck.
No, they recognise the fact that I felt like I should make an effort.
Are you wearing cufflinks and a tie clip yet?
No, I'm bloody not. At the call centre, they kind of didn't like it, but then I got promoted above them all because I was better.
Because you were wearing a tie. Is that your tactic here? You're gunning for promotion by wearing a tie?
Kind of promotion-y stuff.
Well, you could be head T-boy. All the other T-boys could report to you.
That'd be nice.
Have you mastered adding milk to the tea yet, or is it still just has to be black, or else you get confused?
I ballsed up the coffee making.
I assume that's why you're dressed all in black, so people know, well, I can't have white tea from this fella. He's
when
dressed...
I ask if I want a coffee, they all go, no, I'm alright. And that's good, because I'm bad at making it. For years I thought I was good at tea and coffee.
And then you got a job where someone asked you to make one, so you faked being bad at it, and now you don't have to do it anymore. Well played.
Well, I'm not sure if I did that or not. I can't tell whether my brain's cleverer than my consciousness.
I'd say that's unlikely.
I don't know, because a lot of the time I think there is a disconnect there where I serendipitously fall into situations that my subconscious made happen.
I've got to stand up.
Why
I can't sit down. I've been to the football 3 times in the last week, and I have to stand up every 12 minutes. I know it's every 12 minutes because we've got a new scoreboard at the posh ground now, which is smaller than the TV I've got in my lounge, but it has a timer clicking away on it all the time. And it's about every 12 minutes I have to stand up because I think I've destroyed the ligaments or the cartilage or something in this knee. You can see there's a blotchy red bit that's all sort of swollen up. And when I move that knee with my hands over it, it crunches and feels like broken glasses under there.
I'm going to take a wild stab in the dark because I saw you moaning on Twitter that your doctor said that's perfectly normal. I reckon you'll find if they opened it up, there'd be a giant stag beetle in there.
Okay. It wouldn't surprise me. How big is a stag beetle? Because there is
a giant one, probably about that big.
That's about how big the red. Well, you've just seen the red blotch. I feel like you're having me on now. You've seen the red blotch, and now you've told me that stag beetles are that size.
I looked at it and thought, whoa, that's the size of an adult giant stag beetle. And that's where my hypothesis has come from.
But weirdly, unlike...
It's not that, it's maggots.
Unlike every knee injury I've had in the past, because my other knee is well known for dislocating on a regular basis, particularly when I'm doing marathons and other such physical exercise.
You hurt that fighting in karate tournaments, didn't you?
I actually hurt that falling over a tent in France, and then my dad made me walk up a castle. Because it didn't really hurt. It bloody did. Still hurts 25 years later, Dad. Never mind.
Proving a point.
Yeah, exactly. But that one, actually, I'm in a difficult situation now, because that one, when it hurts, the only way to stop it hurting is to sit down. This one, if I'm stood up, if I'm walking, if I'm moving, completely fine. Can't tell there's anything wrong with it. If I sit down for 5 minutes, it starts to swell up and throb. And the reason I've just had to stand up there is because the pain becomes unbearable when I'm sitting down. But now I've stood up, it really hurts doing the pressure to stand up. But now I'm up, it feels fine again. I can jump, I can move,
Why don't you
I
get
can
a foot
dance. Because then I'd still be sitting down, wouldn't I?
Yeah, but your foot would be up and high.
It still
and
hurts.
straight, and it should be fine.
It seems to be the only thing that stops it hurting is the actual act of standing on it and moving around. So
no giving out because you're just so heavy.
Well, I don't know. It's weird to be lopsided in such a manner. So I need to find a way to have this one suspended somewhere in a sleeping position while this one is still standing. I need someone to invent a half hammock for me. I think that's the solution to my problems.
Crutch.
Well, because then I'll still be standing up, won't I?
But you can lean on
Have you ever seen a man sitting down using a crutch?
You can lean on your left hand and not use your left leg.
So I'm going to be the guy... so I'll have a crutch on one side, house style.
Yeah. Get a pimp cane.
I could get a walking stick, couldn't I?
Use it to just turn
Can I get one with a sword inside it?
Why not?
Or, in fact, I'd rather have one with a torch on the end, a laser pointer on the end of it.
Get both.
So when I'm at work, I could be hobbling around the classroom. See, I want to swap the knees over, really, because I'd like to have the cane in the right hand, but that isn't going to give the left leg any support then. So I suppose left-hand cane, I'll get used to it. Wandering around, and every time I want to point at something, student, wall, whatever, cane comes up. I obviously have to shift my weight to the right for a minute, supporting it on the leg that is okay with standing up, pointing at the wall with my cane, or shining it in a child's eyes, and then go about my business and carry on. I could put some chalk on the end of it and teach from a distance.
If you practiced as well, you could probably sweep people's legs from underneath them with it when they tried to badmouth you and, sass you.
Or I could go to the seaside and get one of those walking sticks that has a mirror on the bottom of it because they're cheeky.
There's a guy on my bus every day who has the sticks that blind people use.
With a mirror on the bottom.
No, he sits there with it, right? But he reads his phone and books, and I don't really get it. And it's not a deaf one because I hear him talking to people and having a conversation. And
well, do deaf people have a walking stick?
There is a stick, isn't there, that tells you someone's deaf and blind. I mean, possibly.
Ah, I see.
Maybe
So him being deaf and blind, that would explain him using his phone.
I don't know. I don't understand because he'll get off the bus, he'll walk along a bit, and actually he walks all the way out of the bus station because I've seen him when I come the other way one day. And then once he's further down the road, he puts on some glasses and a hat and walks with the blind stick out.
He's probably just got really poor eyesight. So when he's
reading a book,
so when he knows where he is, perhaps large text.
Right in front of him. No, there's a knob I could see. I was sat next to him.
Well, perhaps
he's reading a book, like at arm's length.
Perhaps he's really long-sighted from any more than about a foot away. So as long as it's within a foot, you can see it perfectly. So when he knows where he's going, he can navigate around the bus station fine. He knows where he's going. But as soon as he gets out of there, he could be anywhere. He doesn't know what bus he was on. He could have that could be any bus station anywhere.
Same bus every day.
Lucky for him, every bus station has the same layout. But once you're outside of the bus station, you could be in any city in the world. So at that point, the stick needs to come out.
If you can't see beyond the foot, the stick's not more than a foot long.
Of course, well, it's a tiny stick then. You know how long a foot is.
I don't know, it's arm's length long. And
that's not a foot then, is it?
I don't know, it's an arm then, not a foot.
An arm's like 2 feet long.
Okay, the stick's 2 feet.
Well, that's no use, that's not going to reach the floor. I thought the whole purpose of the stick was so that you could wave it around the foot.
I don't understand why he's pretending to be blind.
I don't think he is.
I've been watching him for nearly a year now.
Why don't you ask him?
Because... I don't know, I need to study him more. I need to follow him one day. Because if he is blind, he won't see me come in. If he does see me come in, he'll can say, aha! I knew it.
Why are you pretending to be blind?
Yeah. Because I think he sits down on a corner and collects money or something. And if he does, he's a genius. But he can't be getting that much because he gets the bus every day.
Well, you couldn't turn up in a Range Rover and then try begging, could you?
He could, park it down the road and, I don't know, have his Mercedes out back, and then at the end of every day, he could just fill his boot with cash and go off.
It's a good plan. My leg really hurts. Did I mention my leg hurts? I think I need to move. We might be about to hit a run of painkiller episodes. I've not started on them yet. I'm taking a little bit of ibuprofen for the swelling, but, from next week onwards, we could be in one of those rich veins of form that are painkiller episodes.
I, too, in October, will be going through at least 3 weeks of painkiller episodes.
Should we go on them at the same time?
Or
make this properly psychedelic.
I think I found out the day I'm going to die today because I'm going in for an operation on the 15th where they're going to knock me out. He said to me, there'll either be a keyhole surgery, which will be 5 small holes in your side that will take about 2-3 weeks to heal. Or, if we can't get anywhere with that, you'll probably just wake up with a massive, massive cut down your side.
This is for your triple heart bypass that you're having.
Sort of 4 or 5 weeks to heal. And I was like, what do you mean? So he said, if they can't get, because my gallbladder and everything out, he said, if they can't get
at the same time as a triple heart bypass, that's efficient surgery. If
they can't get it out the little keyhole, then they're going to just cut my right side open, he said. And I was like,
can I do it? How much would I have to pay you to be the surgeon who makes the incision?
Well, you're telling me it's all routine, and then
answer my damn question. How much would I have to pay you?
For you. And then
I could get a loan.
That it never really goes wrong, but there's always a chance they could slash my liver / insides, and that'd make it even longer, and I could end up, I was just sat there listening to him, and then he said, but it should all be fine. Then I had to sign a form for the care, and on that it said any other potential things I might need during the op, and it was like blood transfusion. I just thought, oh god,
you're signing that a little prematurely, aren't you? You don't normally sign the consent form 2 months in advance.
Well, he offered it to me in 3 weeks, but I've got a driving test, so I kind of put it off.
What's the point of learning to drive if you're going to be dead soon?
Well, this is it.
Isn't that going to put your heart under too much strain doing the driving test?
But
will this finally cure your diabetes though? That's what everyone needs to know.
An aching side, but for 3 weeks, I'm going to be at home, working from home, and I'll be off for a week or so, and I'll be working from home the other 2 weeks. But it means that, I don't know how we're going to record the show, but I'll be on painkillers and stuff, I guess.
Well, you're not allowed to leave the house for an hour to record the show?
I can leave the house, you just have to look after me and drive me over.
Well, I nibbits. Yeah. Do you mean you don't know how we're going to record the show? We'll just do it the same way we normally do.
We probably will.
And if you don't do it, I'll get guest hosts. Akabusi is desperate to come on the show, and aching is no reason not to do the show. I spent a whole summer in and out of hospital, and I don't understand, because that whole summer, from about May through till September, I spent probably nearly a month in hospital, and we didn't miss an episode of any of our podcasts. How did we manage that? Did I just time coming out right every time and then go back in again?
You basically, you'd see me on a Thursday, and then I'd get a text from Anna the next day saying that you were in hospital, and you'd be in hospital right through till like Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah, then I'd come out again, do a show, and then I'd be back in again. I'm such a trooper.
She was just panicking about you because you'd been rushed to hospital again.
See, I never saw any of this. I just got her being frustrated with me for me being ill. I never got any sympathy or panic. I just got anger.
Well, I think I'm probably going to end up with a lot of anger. I did say to my wife, I'm just going to get a bell, and I'm just keep going ding-a-ling-a-ling and getting her to do stuff for me.
I've got a bell, like the ones you have in a hotel that you bang and ring. I can lend you that if you want. Or I use it at work, so how will my hot desking system work if I don't have my bell?
My plan is to probably stay in bed for the first week and then go to work.
I'm not coming to do the podcast in bed with you.
No, I'll come out for that. But I'm also concerned that I'll die. But I won't really know because I'll be knocked out. So, I don't know. If I drift, I was tempted to get him to film it, so that if I did die, you could just stick it on the YouTube channel. Yeah,
this is where we need to do an audio will. Because what day of the week is your operation? Is it a Monday? Thursday. So actually, the episode will be due pretty much then. So we'll probably do it that week. We'll have already recorded it by the time you have your surgery. So potentially...
So I'll say goodbye to everyone.
Potentially, you'll be dead and there'll be an episode in the can. Can I release that episode?
Yeah.
And then the week after, can I just carry on as normal, as if nothing's ever happened? I'll have replaced you. I'll have gone to the set of EastEnders, found another Mockney, and I'll have some other bald southerner sat next to me, and I'll just I'll call them Steve. People won't even know.
To see who picks up on the fact I'm dead.
Well, I might mention it.
Not that I'll be there to do it, but...
Let's assume you are going to die. Do you want to start drafting a list of potential replacements now, or do you want me to have full control over that? Because what I might do for the first couple of months is just try and do your voice. And
just go out and pick someone.
Because then I get to keep all the royalties.
Out of the,
all that iTunes money I get to keep for myself if I do your voice.
I assume that goes to my estate.
I'm not so sure. This is why we need to make your will.
Well, yeah, I leave all my iTunes...
But once you're no longer the co-host, some might say you don't get any iTunes money anymore.
I don't know. I think you'd have to basically shut down all of the...
John Lennon's still not getting a share of Beatles money, surely.
Yeah, I bet Yoko is. I bet she's...
If the Beatles made a new record now, he wouldn't get a share of that, would he?
I bet he would.
How? On what basis?
Well, if it was the Beatles, then yeah, but because it's Paul...
I'm not sure if that's true.
I reckon it would.
I think you can have your share for all the episodes you were on, but once you're not on it anymore, I might take this in a new creative direction. This might just be Kev's 1 hour monologue.
I don't know.
I'm from the internet, it'll be called. There you go, I'm changing the name.
Well, you'd have to do a complete do-over that was too far different from the original, because I have had creative influence over the whole lot, so... You have to do something completely different.
I'd have to remove all the black from the logo, because you own black.
You just go off and do wings.
I could go off and do wings. And I'd have to become a vegetarian. Is he a vegetarian as well? Do I have to go veggie as well? Because I don't know if I like the sound of that.
That means if you're saying all that, then Claire has to become, was it Vietnamese? Or where's Yoko from?
Japan, I think, isn't she?
I don't know, but...
Her name is Yoko Ono. That's about the most Japanese name in the history of the world, isn't it?
I don't know. I'm not I've forgotten the word.
Doesn't surprise
An
me.
atlas. I'm not an atlas, Kev.
I don't know that atlases contain typical names from each region.
I show you geography stuff.
I don't think that's geography. I think that's more... No.
Sociology?
What subject would that come under?
Sociology, then. I'm not a sociologist.
It's going to be some stupid humanities subject that shouldn't still be being taught in schools. 'Cause no one cares. You can learn it all on the internet. There you go.
Which we're from.
Humanities should have been replaced by the internet. That's my rant for the week.
Teaching about science. Science should just be new research. Everything else is online.
From what I understand, most science in schools now is just looking at... You know how we used to do experiments at school? It's now watching experiments on the internet as a group.
Yeah, that potassium thing we all did at school where they lobbed it in water and it went mad. That apparently costs like 90 quid to do now, so don't do it.
Yeah, and if you want to dissect a frog now, you don't get a frog yourself that you can upset the girls with. I remember chasing all the girls out of the classroom with a sheep's heart in my hand. None of that anymore. You just watch a clip of it on YouTube. That's all science is now. YouTube.
We need to get on YouTube.
We're on YouTube now.
Wow.
This show, people, there will be potentially person listening to these words now on YouTube. We sometimes get into single figures of YouTube views for these episodes.
Most people need to go and find 2 other people, and they need to find 2 other people, and we need to get...
And then we'll be up to 7 people.
Yeah.
And then, that's a 7-fold increase in 1 week. That's probably, if we kept that going for a few years, well, obviously I'll have to keep it going beyond October. But I don't know, would you own that idea then? Am I allowed to grow you own growing the audience now? Oh, for goodness sake. We've got to get all the growth in before you die. What are we going to do? What am I going to do? I don't care what you're going to do. You're going to die. We already know that.
I'm thinking, I wonder what it'll be like. I've already convinced myself I'm going to die. And it's just, I'm going to get to it, survive, and be like, oh, okay, I had no plans on the 16th of October. I was planning on just...
But what are you going to do about Game of Thrones? You don't know how it ends.
I don't care anymore.
Really?
Yeah. I'll find out when I come back as a mouse.
I don't think mice understand really waffly, long-winded fiction.
But I will. Because it'll be me as a mouse.
Do you remember your previous life as a goat?
No, because I'm pretty sure this is the first one.
Of course it's not. First one would have been first group of people, or group of living things. You'd have been an amoeba originally.
Before this. And I probably was just grass for a long, long time.
Yeah. And then you took that one step up from grass. And now you're going to take another step up again to be a mouse. You weren't just any human, though. You got nearly 50 years of life out of that carcass. Well played, sir.
30 on Friday.
30, what?
It's my birthday.
30 years since your 20th birthday on Friday.
30. I'm going to the zoo on Saturday.
What, to celebrate your birthday? Is that your birthday party? That I would like to point out I haven't been invited to this birthday party.
I wanted to go to Woburn.
I don't know what that is.
Woburn Safari Park.
Never heard of it.
Drive around it.
I understand what a safari park
theory,
is.
You could open your window and a bear could climb in and kill you.
Okay.
So you have to keep your window shut.
Right.
But then I said to my sister, did she want to go? And she said, I'd rather go to the one in Yorkshire because it's near my house. So I was like, well, what's it got? It has polar bears. I was sold. I'm going.
Is that because it's in the north? You wouldn't be able to have polar bears down south.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a polar bear in the flesh. I've seen pretty much everything else.
What about when you were on the set of Lost?
I didn't do those scenes, you see.
Okay.
I didn't go to the Dharma camp.
Interesting. I can't remember what this week's topic is.
Theme parks.
Well, it is theme parks, isn't it? And the reason it's theme parks is because there's been a kerfuffle about theme parks over the last week or so. Not that kerfuffle. It's a different kerfuffle. The Star Wars Disneyland kerfuffle. Star Wars Land in Disneyland. It's going to be huge. It's going to be in both the ones in Florida and in California.
Connected.
No, there's 2 of them. Two Star Wars Land Disneyland parks that, from what I was reading, sound like they're going to be bigger than any other section anywhere else in Disneyland. They're just going to be massive. All about Star Wars.
It's pretty impressive. I mean,
It's going to have the cantina in it.
Yeah, that's what my sister was telling me. I don't care much for the films. Like,
I'd like to go and just dance around listening to that song.
No, I think the rides are going to be rides, aren't they? You know, it'll be fun. It's like, it doesn't matter.
Oh, there's going to be rides there? Oh, never mind. I thought I was just going to be able to go to the cantina, have a drink, get a lightsaber, cut off my son's hand, and then that'd be that. Star Wars spoilers.
I want them to do a Phineas and Ferb world. I'm assuming they've got some sort of Disney Phineas and Ferb thing going on somewhere there. Because that's got everything. They could have all of their inventions in there, all the realistic ones, I mean.
What I'm most looking forward to is when they recreate the Marvel version of New York in Disneyland.
Wow.
Because if they're doing this with Star Wars, at the moment they're assuming Star Wars is going to be their biggest nerdy franchise that they own. But this film might flop. It might not be as big as the Avengers. They might have to do a quick U-turn and think, yeah, you know what? Marvel's our biggest franchise. Let's build Stark's Tower. And
could you imagine if you were just walking through it and you had Thor and Iron Man and
it'd be awesome.
Hulk and all of that just jumping around, fighting monsters around you?
You could have a whole forget rides. You know, when we went to Manchester last year and we had that flight sim thing where everything moved around in there and it was 360-degree pictures and you were flying a plane in it. You could do an Iron Man suit version of that where you just get in the Iron Man suit. You'd only really need to have the arms be able to move, so you could fire stuff out the arms.
Yeah, but it made you feel like you were flying all over the shop.
You could be Iron Man.
Yeah.
That would be really easy to replicate.
I bet they can make it feel like you were falling and rising. I was thinking they could have. Did I ever tell you when I went to the BBC for a day and they threw a fake brick at me? I'm sure I've told you that before. It looked really real. Was
it fake?
This guy walked into a room. Well, yeah, but it must have been because it hit
Why were you at the BBC?
I was seeing something we filmed. I don't remember what it was now. Anyway, he came into this room and he just picked up this brick and threw it in my face.
Who did?
This bloke who was doing a talk there. And I jumped a mile and then caught it. Just as it was about to hit me, I caught it, and it was just rubber. But it looked so real. And I was thinking they could make buildings out of that in this Marvel place. You could be walking down the street while it's all fighting above you, and these bricks are just falling everywhere.
Yeah, but who'd want to put that back together at the end of the day? It'd have to be done with CGI, surely.
I don't know.
Unless the bricks are going to be on some kind of string that is just the right length, so when you tug it back again, it goes back into the right spot on the wall. Do you reckon it would be possible to create a foam brick wall where it was all computer programmed to the point where each string is tugged at just the right moment for just the right amount, so that it could automatically reset itself and rebuild the wall? So you start pulling with bottom brick first. Yeah. But I think Star Wars, yeah, who really cares? Glad it's only happening in America. Here's your plan for Paris, Mr. Disney. We want Marvel Land there.
L'Avengers.
Yeah, exactly. And don't forget the X-Men and Fantastic Four if they have to turn up.
Fantastisch Vier.
Yeah.
That's German.
Is it? Brilliant. What, Fantastisch is German, is it?
I think so. I'm not sure.
Okay. Thanks for the German lesson. But I'd be willing to return to France if I could dress as Spider-Man and fly around the ceiling of a big room that looked like a thing that Spider-Man was whooshing around on. See, I've never really understood Spider-Man. You need to explain it to me. Cause
he does whatever a spider can.
He just shoots his webs up into the air. Oh, are they hooking onto clouds? Or what? What's the deal there?
You're supposed to believe that he's managed to hook onto buildings and stuff.
So it's only possible for Spider-Man to get around the way he does in a city like New York.
Yeah, you couldn't take him in the middle of a Ferry Meadows in Peterborough and expect him to fly around.
So he's just man when he goes out in the countryside.
Yeah. All right.
He's a city superhero.
Yeah.
That's a bit dull, isn't it? That's a bit rubbish.
Oh, I always said Spider-Man was rubbish.
Thing with Spider-Man though is he's the one everyone likes when they're growing up because he's your age. When you're 17. Well, when you're 14, you look at Spider-Man. I think a couple of years' time, I'm Spider-Man's age. It's ages until I'm old enough to be Hulk.
Superman, and then I realised I was
wrong. What's wrong with you? Was that because of Lois and Clark on TV?
No, it's because of Smallville.
I remember. You are too young. That's ridiculous. No, Smallville didn't exist until I was about 28.
Yeah, wow.
I remember walking into the barber's, your favourite barber, who always messes up your hair wrong, and before I trained him to cut my hair perfectly like this every time, I used to go in with a picture of Dean Cain as Superman and say, I would like my hair like Dean Cain, please. And he would look at me and think, you're a fat 12-year-old with a side parting that comes down to a centre parting that comes down to your chin with an undercut at the moment. I can't make you look like Dean Cain, but he had a good go because the year before that, I took in a picture of Chris Waddle when he was playing for Sheffield Wednesday and had it all slicked back. It wasn't proper mullet Waddle, but yeah, I took in, I think it was probably a Panini sticker with Chris Waddle in a Sheffield Wednesday shirt. I'd like this haircut, please. I don't know why my mum was letting me go to the barbers on my own when I was 10 with pictures of celebrities who I can never look like, but it was just It was just celebrity after celebrity of slicked back hair. I just had a thing. I wanted slicked back hair. I want to be Chris Waddle or I want to be Superman. They're the two people I aspire to be. I need slicked back hair.
I wonder how often they get Panini stickers nowadays with people bringing them in and just saying that's who I want.
All footballers have the same haircut now.
Yeah, but kids must go in with the stickers still.
I saw a footballer in Tesco this afternoon.
Which one?
Ben Anik.
Huh. Did you tell him he's not very good at goalkeeper?
He's an excellent goalkeeper. He's the best goalkeeper Posh have had for many a long year.
Well, you've had naught but terrible keepers of goals.
You understand that when he was at Tottenham Hotspur, he was still a League One player at a Premier League club. Now he's a League One player at a League One club, and he looks superb.
Yeah, I suppose I can give him that, but he was terrible for us.
I was surprised at how short he is. He's my height. And I was in there.
You're like 9 foot tall.
I'm 6'2", and I would think for a professional goalkeeper, I'd be thinking 6'5", 6'6". I met David Seaman once, and he was massive. I was only 14 at the time, so perhaps he's only 6'2" as well. But yeah, he's about my height, a quarter of the width of me. When he's on a football pitch, he looks massive, but he looked like a skinny little girl next to me. It was terrifying.
A lot of them look like skinny little girls.
He was in there perusing the protein supplements with what I assume was his wife and child, maybe. There was a woman and a kid with him. Sorry, Ben, if you told the missus you were out training this afternoon and that was some other woman and some other child, I apologise for dropping you in it, but yeah, he was.
Did you kick him out with him? Did you kick anybody?
I was too scared to talk to him. It was the contrast between our two lives, because I imagine our ages aren't that different. He's probably late 20s. I'm early 30s. He's in there wearing his sportswear, all muscly and slim, looking at different, which one of these protein supplements do I want? And I walked past him just as I was saying to Anna, "Oh, I've got 10 street passes!" DS in front of my face. We're on our way to Burger King while I'm doing my street passes. How different our two paths have taken, me and Mr. Anik. I could have been looking at protein supplements if I'd have stayed on the goalkeeping fast track.
I realised the other day there's only one Spurs player older than me.
Huh?
And that's Adebayor, who's going soon. So when he leaves, I'll be older than he is.
There are no Posh players older than me.
Well, that's the
I don't remember the day that happened. I remember the first time a player played for Posh who was older than me, and I think that was Matthew Etherington. Yeah, sorry, younger. I think that was Matthew Etherington was the first Posh player to be younger than me. But now, for years, I suppose Grant McCann was older than me when he was still playing, and that was this time last year. So it is within the last year. I'm now older than the whole Posh team.
I kind of feel silly that it kind of rules out as a career.
It doesn't rule out as a career,
even though 20 years of being a beast would rule it out as a career.
Jack Collison is playing for Posh now. That man cannot walk. He limps across a football pitch. His knees are worse than my knees. If he is still capable of being a professional footballer now, I am still capable of being a professional footballer.
Well, this is something that I've always wanted to pick up with Channel 4. I want them to pay a professional trainer from, I don't know, all the trainers from all the football clubs, get them all to come and try and turn me into a pro footballer. For a season. I want to turn out for a couple of games. It can be cup games, I don't care. A couple of pro games as a footballer. Just to see if I can last 90 minutes and not fall on myself.
I'm sure someone could get you to the point where you could last 90 minutes. Is whether you'd get anywhere near the ball that would be the issue.
Well, that's what I mean. I want to be trained up. I don't know, 6 months of a TV show where they train me up.
It's going to take a lot longer than 6 months. I have just realised while we're talking about this, we've probably missed our last chance to go to the Olympics. If you think back 3 years ago, as London 2012 was happening, we did have a plan to go and be the men's beach volleyball team in Brazil. We were going to train for 4 years because they were rubbish, and one of the guys who was in it in London had only been playing it for 9 months or whatever. We were going to get fit and we were going to get good at beach volleyball. We were going to spend 4 years committing ourselves to it, and we were going to the Olympics. No, I've not been to.
I have.
I don't know how to put this to you.
I've been playing volleyball weekly.
Yeah, but you don't seem to have got any fitter.
No, you don't need to be.
You don't have
hitting a ball.
You don't have the hairstyle for beach volleyball.
Oh, I was going to just get a haircut then. That's about a year in.
You're also a spectacle wearer. That doesn't really cut it for a beach volleyball player.
I've only got punch a ball.
You wouldn't really see the ball if you took them off.
They're quite bright.
What, a ball? Or your glasses?
On the, to be fair, if I'm really good at it, I don't need to worry about my glasses because the ball ain't going to hit me.
I used to be good at ordinary volleyball. I've never played beach volleyball. There's only 2 people in a beach volleyball team, isn't there? That's the big difference. There's 6 in a normal volleyball.
But,
I'd feel a bit like I was carrying you if it was just you and me.
Well, I've been practicing for 3.5 years.
Yeah, but I was quite good at it 20 years ago. So who's got the edge there?
I've booked my flights. Are you not coming?
Oh, I'll tag along, but I haven't even got the kit. I haven't got a vest.
It's just shorts and a vest.
I don't own a vest. Where'd you buy a vest from at this time of year?
Yeah, Primark special.
Okay. So we are going to Brazil.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
We're going to win.
Been looking forward to that. Back to theme parks.
Yeah.
Could there be a theme park where you could pretend to be... when is VR and virtual reality and theme parks going to merge together to be one thing? So we don't need theme parks anymore. A theme park is like the Matrix. You just turn up and it's just a sea of omnidirectional treadmills and headsets.
Could you not just do it from home?
I would suggest... And this is going to come back and bite me on the bottom when I'm a technological journalist for the BBC in 10 years' time, but I suggest that stuff isn't going to be affordable for the home while we're young enough to enjoy it. It might happen in our lifetimes, but to get to the point where people have the treadmill, the full suit, the hand stuff, the full complete immersion, that's not going to happen while we're still young enough to use it, surely.
MMO, VRS, like massively multiplayer online virtual reality suites.
Okay. I still don't think it's going to happen while we're young enough to enjoy it.
Hard to do.
My knees have got maybe 2 years left in them, and you die in October. So, you know.
You win this round.
Yeah, it's not going to happen for us. I can use my omnidirectional treadmill, but I'll be in a wheelchair while I'm doing it, and you're going to be a bag of ashes.
I'm not being burned. They'll bury me.
Hold on, there's no way I veto that. I'm not letting you be buried. What if you come back? I want to make sure you're good and gone. I'll have replaced you.
Well, I actually want to be frozen. I might have to say to the doctor, if it does all go a bit wrong, just roll me in a bag of ice and get me on ice.
Do you want your whole body freezing or just your head? Just the brain region?
I'm thinking the next time I wake up, it could be any year ever. It could be brilliant. That's one thing that's going to go through my head as I'm passing out, actually. The next time I open my eyes, it could be the year 4000 and I'll be listening to our back catalogue and looking for my royalties, which will no doubt have stacked high.
Or you could go to the year 3000 and live underwater and stuff.
That's why I went for 4000, to A, avoid that joke, and B, because I assumed the tides would have gone back down by then.
Would it still be my great-great-great-granddaughter that you'd be after then?
More greats.
We've established in the past just how old that, but didn't we did when we created McBusted, didn't we establish that in the year 3000 those boys were going to be slobbering over an 800-year-old woman or something, based on the lyrics they chose. Yeah, which that seems a bit weird. Look, he's working it out. Bless him. He's working out on his hands now. You there? Are you with me yet?
Yeah, so that's only going to be 400 years, yeah. 600.
Well, I don't think many women give birth aged 100. It's going to be more, it's going to be less than that. I would say you're looking tops 35 years between each of them. So it's going to be like an 850-year-old woman who's looking pretty fine.
Maybe they just mean healthy.
Probably dead.
She's looking alright for 800. Well, no, because they reckon, didn't they, the first 1,000-year-old is already alive.
Who reckons that?
Science.
Is it me?
Well, they don't know, do they? They just think there's somebody alive now.
To make a wild statement like that, they must know who it is. They've got them in a room somewhere.
Hopefully.
If they've identified who that person is, they've got them wrapped in cotton wool. They'll probably just keep them sedated for 1,000 years and say, we were right. Could you keep someone alive forever just by sedating them and keeping their heart beating?
I don't know. That's an interesting one.
Just do it.
Would you want it to be you?
No.
What about if you were 97? Or, alright, let's say 101, because you don't want to miss out on 100. 101, you're still quite healthy.
I won't be.
And they say to you, do you want us to just sedate you and keep your heart and everything functioning whilst we go about seeing how long...
I'd agree to it on the basis that at some point they woke me up just so I could see the really, really, really old man. They just wake me up and say, by the way, you're 400 years old, you're going to die any second. Here's a mirror. And then I die. That'd be awesome. I'd like that.
I'd kind of rather that I woke up and they were like, yeah, you're now a cyborg. Do what you want.
That's why it confuses me a little bit that a man such as yourself who knows he only has a few weeks to live, I wouldn't be wasting my time doing podcasts. I'd be coding furiously, trying to get everything I know into a chain of if statements to keep my consciousness going in a machine. I know the technology to get your whole brain memories and everything up into the cloud isn't quite there yet, but you've got time to estimate most of the decisions that you're going to make at any point for given scenarios and just code them so that your kids can open up the dad bot in 10 years' time, your daughter's there going, "Hey, Dad, can I go and sleep round at Jamie's tomorrow night? Is that all right?" And you know what your answer's going to be then. Obviously, no, you can't. In 10 years' time, you're going to be 15. You can't go and sleep round. Who's Jamie? 16 then. And then you can code Jamie in there and, right, get him over here. I want to have a word with him. And then you can give him the talk. And you could, that's such a good idea. I'm tempted to do that now in case I die.
You'd know my answer. She can just ask you.
Well, my knees are going. I'm going to be in no position to answer. She'll ask me, and I've got to get over there. Hold on. By which point, Jamie's licking her neck or whatever it is kids do these days. You hate Jamie already, don't you?
I've had enough, really. I'm quite happy for it. I'm tired. I need a rest.
But that would be so much fun. That's how I should have spent my summer holidays. I've only got like 2 weeks left.
Oh, really? I've only got bloody 6 to 7 weeks left.
I feel like I've wasted my summer holidays a little bit. I could have been coding myself as an algorithm and putting myself on the internet. Then anyone could have a conversation with me anytime they wanted. Kev, what do you think about... Bleh.
They could just get a picture of an arsehole and have a conversation with you.
If topic for discussion begins with star, respond with, "The only good thing that begins with star is a Starbucks gingerbread latte."
Yeah, that's a good point. You are pretty predictable.
Yeah, everything I say is pre-planned.
Any sentence over 10 words, just put splendid.
Or so's your face, depending whether it's a positive or negative sentence.
Yeah, your face.
Yeah, if it's something if it's something I agree with, response is splendid. If it's bad, your face is whatever the bad thing was. I mean, I could be created as a machine quite easily.
You don't really need it anymore. You just go sit somewhere.
Well, I'm needed to code myself into the internet. And I might make kevbot.com. If that doesn't, or I shouldn't have said it now. I've got until this episode is out at the weekend to get that domain bought.
My time will be even closer to an end.
Yeah. Once I'm finished making myself, I might make you. You'll be quite easy to make as well. It will just be, "Sheepdog, do you like anything?" No, not really. not bothered.
What do you want?
How do you feel about this? Not bothered. Are you happy? Are you anything at all there? Any kind of response? I'm not bothered. You're hot? You're cold? No, I'm all right. You're going to take your coat? No, I'm not going to take my coat off. Just everything straight down the middle, every time. Straight down the middle, sheepdog. That's what they call you.
Yeah.
Isn't that right?
I'm hoping that's right. I've got plenty of theories about the whole universe and whatnot, so I'm pretty sure that some people listening now will end up in a universe where I did die on the table, whereas the one I'm in where I didn't, it'll carry on that way. So, depending on your consciousness, you could end up regretting all of this or feeling really awkward.
I regret nothing, and I won't feel awkward. In fact, if you do die on the operating table, I'm going to stand outside your house that day playing this episode back at him, saying, "I warned him, and he wasn't interested." It could have all been presented. You could have been having this conversation with the sheepdog bot now if he'd have taken old Kev's advice. But oh no, he was selfish. Had he in fact said that you must refer all of your children's queries to me because I know the correct answer. Here he is saying it on video.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Don't touch that girl, Jamie, you monster.
Not often.
What does Jamie look like in your mind? Are you picturing Jamie Redknapp like I am?
For some reason, I was picturing Stingray's brother from Neighbours. I can't remember his name.
What, Toadfish?
No, Toadfish is his cousin.
Oh, my mistake. Sorry, my neighbour's knowledge isn't quite up there.
What was his name? I nearly dropped a C-bomb then. C-bomb fish, and I thought that's not going to be his name. Dylan. I looked at my phone. It wasn't even on a neighbour's information. I just looked at a text.
And was it someone giving you the answer? Was it someone who was listening live?
No, it was just, I don't know, it popped into my head. Yeah, he's Dylan, Timmons in my head.
Timmons?
That was Stingray's.
What does he look like? Does he look like Jamie Redknapp?
Long hair, pointy nose.
That's the kind of guy you see your daughter with, is it?
No, this kind of guy I don't want her to be with.
If you're not yet at the point where you don't want her to be with any man, then she's clearly not old enough yet. You come back to me when you've got a 13-year-old daughter. Oh, you won't be able to. I apologise.
I'm reasonable enough to know she's going to have to go out with somebody at some point.
Nah, nonsense. I've given my children very clear rules that not until I'm dead. So again,
I said that in October.
To be fair, she can do what she likes when she likes because you'll be long gone. Old dead sheepdog. Is that why you're wearing a tie?
Probably.
You're getting your own funeral in now.
Think that
Can I do a speech at your funeral?
You can do a rap at my funeral.
Oh, fantastic. Can I play the guitar while I'm doing it?
Yeah, go for it.
You don't get a lot of guitar raps, do you?
No.
I need to start learning to play the guitar.
What has this got to do with theme parks? Been to any this year? Going to any this year?
Well, I've been sort of tempted-ish because
you saw the Alton Tower rides break and you just thought, I'd love to get broken on a ride.
It's connected to that.
Say your knees were broken on that ride and they'll give you bionic ones.
Oh, I almost did one of the worst taste jokes I've ever done yesterday at the football with my dad because my knee was really hurting I was moving around in my seat and he said, Are you done moving around? I feel like I'm on a roller coaster. And I nearly said, my knee feels like I was on that particular roller coaster. But I sort of...
You saved it for the personal conversation with your dad and put it on the internet where thousands
I don't mind putting it on the internet. People who are listening to this know what I'm like, but I was surrounded by football folk.
By Alton Towers victims.
I was surrounded by football folk who overreact to stuff like that, and I would have got beaten up. But yeah...
have you not considered sticking a claim in against someone at random?
Well, it hurt. It started hurting the day after MGPX. I'm tempted to sue you.
Sue yourself.
I haven't got any money.
Keep fire.
Well, it says Mr. New Suit.
Well, it's not really a suit. I haven't got a jacket.
I assume you're wearing it under the shirt.
It's a whistle without the flute.
No, the reason I've been tempted by Alton Towers isn't because there have been crashes. Well, it's indirectly because there have been crashes there.
You think it'll be empty and the prices will be down?
I don't just think it. They've been tweeting. There's no queues for any of the rides. They tweet pictures of the board that's there, and it's just 0 minutes wait for everything in July. And I went to the lengths where I went onto Groupon, thinking, if I can get a Groupon, I can go for like 30 quid for the whole family. What are the chances of it happening again, really? Surely
now's the sort of time that we should be getting on to them and saying, your rep needs building, we're willing to be the ones to do that for £10,000.
Well, unfortunately, someone's got in there ahead of us. I did notice Bird's Eye Potato Waffles. If you buy a box of them, you get a free child's ticket to Alton Towers now. Interestingly, only on the box of 10. If you buy the box of 18, you still have to pay full price to get into Alton Towers.
You've got like 10 kids and they don't want to give you that many.
Well, they clearly don't understand how many waffles this family gets through on an average week. We have about 40 free children's tickets to Alton Towers at the moment that we've saved up. So,
do you feel that you combine 10 of them into an adult one?
I don't see why not. But the thing is as well, if no one's there, then you could, even if you were a bit iffy about the rides, you can still go and enjoy the water park, and you can go and enjoy the teacups. The teacups aren't going to crash, and if they do, they're teacups. What's the worst that's going to happen? And
just sit in the middle of the rides as well, surely.
Yeah, there'll be no queue at Burger King. The last time I went, the queue at Burger King was horrific. When I went to Thorpe Park, the queues for getting a beer were ridiculous. But if there's nobody there, I can drink so much that I don't know if the rides crash.
The other rides have been there for like decades and haven't.
Yeah. So now's the time to go to Alton Towers. I'm still sort of thinking, I've got a couple of weeks of summer holidays left. It's still not picking up. Anna loves that place. So if it doesn't ever recover, we should go once more before it closes down. And B, it should be a fun day out, and it's probably not going to happen again. And if it does, they'll fix my leg in the surgery, won't they? Won't hurt anymore.
I did think when I almost got hit by a car on my way out of the hospital today that if I'd just let that car hit me, they could have taken the gallbladder out while I was on the table getting repaired, and that would have been perfect.
Would they have done your triple bypass while you were there as well?
I reckon they'd have probably just stuck a hose in for now.
When was the last time you went to a proper theme park? So I'm not going to let you talk about Peppa Pig Land again, because we've talked at length about Peppa Pig Land. That's something different entirely. Do you like theme parks?
Generally, yeah.
Do you like rides?
Yeah.
Do you still fit on rides?
I went to Gulliver's Land last year.
That doesn't count. Which one? The Milton Keynes one or the one with all the hills? Don't go to the one in Derbyshire. It's on the side of a mountain. Even the car park is on a mountain.
Weird. But I sat on a roller coaster and I couldn't really fit it properly. And my daughter told me off being so fat. It turned out the seat was wrong. I was sat in it wrong, but I got told off by my daughter, and then I got the last laugh because she was bawling her eyes out the entire way around the roller coaster because she didn't realise how scary it was going to be, and I thought she'd be fine.
Nice. When was the last time you went to Alton Towers?
I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 years.
Should we get a group on? Should we go?
Be up for that, probably.
Yeah, should we go now?
Right now, I've got a bit of work in 12 hours, but...
You're already dressed for it. We get to Alton Towers overnight, go on a few of the rides, get you back for the morning.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, do you wear the same black shirt every day? Will they notice that you've been out all night riding?
They'd probably...
Oh, Steve, he's been riding again.
I'll be up for that. Nighttime Alton Towers.
Do they open at night? I know they do the Halloween stuff and the bonfire night stuff.
What's the harm? What could go wrong?
Exactly. Well, can't imagine. But what's the best theme park that you've ever been to?
I don't know. I've been to both Disneyland Florida and Parc Asterix in France.
Which one has the best Star Wars section? Because I know you're a big Star Wars man.
Neither of them had one when I went.
Having been to both Disney and Asterix, you can tell me if I made the correct childhood decision, because we went to France on holiday and we spent a couple of being the super cool high flying family that we are. We went to France for a couple of weeks and we spent 2 days in Paris. And when I say we spent 2 days in Paris, I mean we towed the caravan to the outskirts of Paris and the caravan was parked just outside Paris for a couple of days. Yeah. We're that cool. Me and my brother were given the choice of a day at Parc Asterix or a day at Disneyland Paris, and we chose Parc Asterix. Were we correct?
Yeah, because I went to Parc Asterix for 2 days and I thought it was amazing. Went to Disneyland Paris. I was supposed to go for 2 days, but on the second day, I was 15 at the time, and I just said to my parents, you know what, I'm just going to sit here and read a book. I'll see you in a couple of hours. So they left me in the caravan reading while they took my sister and my cousin to Disneyland.
What a misery. What's wrong with you?
I hurt my neck on Space Mountain and just felt a bit crappy and a bit depressed and just thought, I can't bother. And that's probably when I became miserable. I reckon my my happiness.
What 15-year-old think? Oh no, I don't want to go to Disneyland. I'll just sit at home with my book.
I read like 8 books on that holiday.
Were they all really warped horror books? Miserable books?
Well, they were crime.
Is that when you started dressing from head to toe in black?
Crime thrillers and Stephen King books and stuff like that.
You weren't a normal kid, were you?
I was 15. I can read those sorts of books then.
I can't read those kind of books now without getting the creeps. Getting the creepy
there were James Patterson crime books and Stephen King, like Hearts and Atlantis and stuff like that.
You talk as if I know what you're saying. I haven't got a clue.
Author.
Yeah, but I don't write those kind of books, do I? I write jovial japes. I write children's books.
But yeah, Parc Asterix had the more hardcore rides, and because I didn't really know much about the IPs, I kind of... It was an experience. They had their big...
What, you didn't read up on Asterix before you went?
I knew vaguely that they were...
I knew we were going 6 months out, and for the 6 months running up to it, I rinsed my school library of all the Asterix books that they had in there, and I read them all, so that I knew what I was letting myself in for. So when Obelix turned up and rubbed me on the head when I walked through, I knew what was coming. That was really big. That must have been Obelix. There he is!
I know who Obelix is and that sort of thing. My dad got an Obelix mug that was massive, like the size of your head.
It's a big mug.
The handle fell off it because I don't think it was meant to be used for tea.
My head was touched by a giant rabbit the other day.
I heard.
I actually thought he was going to steal my phone. I almost turned around and thumped him, which I think is why he rubbed me on the head, because I was stood in the football, hanging around outside the gents, as is my wont, waiting for my dad to return, just on my phone, checking Twitter. Oh, I just backed into the door and thought the axe lady was there. That was terrifying. It's slightly ajar. Oh, that was horrific. I need to check if she's there.
Your face then really made me laugh.
I hate living.
I've never seen
in a house.
Such a terrified double take.
You know how I feel about the axe lady.
For a split second, I thought it was the rabbit, and then I remembered the axe lady.
No, why is the door open? I can't face away. I've got to face towards that. No, because then I'll see her coming. I don't know what to do. But no, I was hanging around outside the gents on my phone, checking Twitter, probably about to tweet something hilarious about wheelie bins, which is all you get from me at the football these days. Wheelie bin this, wheelie bin that. And all of a sudden, this giant white furry hand reached round and sort of half touched my thumb, half touched my phone, and not realising that it was the big rabbit-y sponsor, I just thought someone's trying to nick my phone, and I spun round, ready to sort of shove him away, and again, sort of looked up at this big fluffy rabbit, and he just rubbed me on the head and bounced off on his way. So I tweeted about that instead. No wheelie bin news then, because it was most troubling. I didn't care for it. And then, when I went again last night, we walked in, my dad goes to the toilet, the rabbit's only hanging around outside the toilets again, so I had to walk into the gents. I didn't need to go, but I had to go in the gents and hang around behind the urinals so my dad could protect me from the rabbit. So I might have a reputation at that football ground now.
A jar of myxomatosis and just threw it in his face. That's what about.
Who knows? Normally at this juncture on a podcast we do a weigh-in.
Yeah, where are the scales?
I don't have the scales. Shall I go and fetch them? Because full disclosure, I did have a Burger King for tea.
Oh, mate, I had a mixed grill. I had a steak, a gammon steak, a chicken breast, a sausage, and maybe 4 chips, because I gave the chips to my family.
Yeah, see, that still sounds sort of paleo.
And, well, I also had a couple of slices of bread and a load of...
I had a burger with a Rosti in it and some chips. Because I was cheering myself up after my run-in with Ben Anik.
Yeah, mine was slightly paleo, but still not.
Right, I'm going to pause while I go and fetch the scales. I shall return, probably, unless the axe lady's out there. It's so scary out there. The light out on the patio doesn't work. The dining room light doesn't work. You can hear in my voice I'm a little bit choked. I didn't like doing that. Who's going first? You normally go first.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, I haven't taken off my trousers and stuff yet, so I need to strip down. So while I'm stripping it, do you want your microphone, or are you just going to leave it there on the table while you do this? Sorry, am I troubling you here?
I'm listening. I just noticed I had quite a few emails and started reading them.
Oh, good. Well, you're doing a podcast at the moment. I'm not sure if you remember.
That I normally do.
Do you remember how much you weighed last time?
I know that, it was 19, wasn't it?
Ish. Yeah, was it 19 dead on?
Yeah, because
okay.
I'd gone from 19.6 to 18.11.
And since then, I mean, that's nearly 2 weeks ago now. Since then, you've been on holiday.
Since then, I went back up to 19.6. And then I weighed myself yesterday, I think it was, and I was 19.
See, I haven't weighed myself since the last time we did the podcast, because I've kind of stopped following the diet since sort of Monday time. Do. Yeah, I've just lost interest in it. And
I find the food really nice. It's only that I went out for this meal because...
I'm bored of salads.
Just have more meat then.
I have a lot of meat, don't worry.
Right, well, I reckon it'll be higher because I've got the mixed grill and the sorbet and the start.
Go on, get yourself on the scales. We're running out of time. We need to see how much damage a mixed grill does to a man. So 2 weeks ago when we last did this, Stevie McDoesn't listen. Oh, Stephen Stephenson, what are you doing? Put both feet on the scales. If you break them, they're £100 Wi-Fi scales. Anna will kill you. Let's see, it's saying step off. Oh no, here we go. So it was sort of flickering between the 18 and the 19 there. Oh, fantastic! He's 19 stone, 6 pounds. Ah, sheepdog. Get that off my name. Yeah. Right, so do you remember what I was? Because I don't really remember.
I was 20 something.
20 stone on the nose, maybe. Should we say 20 stone on the nose?
Go.
I think I was about a stone heavier than you. So I'm going to put my microphone down as well, because that's what you did, so I'll allow you to commentate. It's asking if you're my boyfriend.
Just stand on it.
I've got to wait for it to stop doing that first, otherwise it'll be...
See, I don't really understand. It's like, I'll eat, and the food can't surely weigh £6, and I can't have eaten... I know I haven't eaten 18,000 calories worth of food in the past day.
You could put my microphone in front of me so that I could talk while we do it. See, it's dancing between 19 and 20, so I'm pretty much exactly the same as I was, I imagine. 19 stone, 13 pounds. I've lost a pound. He's lost a pound. And I had a Burger King for tea. I didn't just have the burger. I had a large meal, and I also had the mozzarella bites with it as well, with the crunchy nacho stuff on the side. I had a fizzy beverage. In your face, Ben Anik. You might make me feel my life is insignificant compared to yours, but I lost a pound this week. I bet you didn't, you tall goalkeeper. Told him.
I reckon I'll, if I have a good week. Although it's my birthday Friday, that's going to be bad. I'm away at the weekend. I am still into it though. My dinners at home are always really good. My lunches are always perfect, and my breakfast is always perfect. It's just when I eat out, basically. Which, because it's holiday birthday season, I have been.
Did you know you can follow us on Twitter at Kev Steve, or you can follow me at Lelujo?
And I am at RB6K.
We're also on the Facebook at facebook.com/Kev Steve. And we've got a website, we'refromtheinternet.com. That's got the Amazon link we talked about earlier, and links to our mailing list and our Patreon, and it's a wonderful place. And I can't think of anything else I had to say. Can you think of anything else I had to say? Actually, I had an email earlier from the Barron brothers. I can't remember what their names were. I'll read it out properly next week, because I wrote it on a piece of paper. I've left it on my desk in there, but they just said, can we say hello? So hello, Barron brothers.
Hello.
It's something like Baron Trevor and Baron Neil, or something like that. I've made they're probably not their names. Trevor and Neil, the Barron brothers, wanted us to say hello. I imagine they're Grimsby's version of the Mitchells. That's how I picture them.
Give us a review.
It was so this week. I liked the tall one who was stood up. The little fat one with the black shirt left a little to be desired, but overall I would say 4 out of 10.
We had a problem, didn't we, where our average dropped, and we weren't sure why, because we had all 5-star reviews. And then I looked, and very early on I may have dropped a review because I was really enjoying the show, and I'd given us a 3-star review that was creating our average. So I've updated that now, and I'd like you all to review us yourselves.
And this week's iTunes review vote, I had a Burger King for tea. He had a Frankie and Benny's for tea. You have to tell us in your iTunes reviews, do you prefer Burger King or Frankie and Benny's? That's what your 5-star iTunes reviews will say this week, even. See you next week, boys and girls. I need to lie down.
Have a good week.